Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. So this video is about why the other nations on the planet are allowed to sabotage America. And keep in mind that they need to scramble and do the right thing, and I could change my mind about this argument. But as it stands, these nations are pure evil, and I don't care if they destroy each other. In fact, one can make a strong case that it's a good thing. That's a more complex issue there. You'll see what I'm saying shortly. 1 Thessalonians 4:17. After that, we who are still alive and are left will be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. And so we will be with the Lord forever. Now keep in mind in the Bible it says that Satan is the Lord of the air. So there's two different ways to interpret this, and quite often there's basically always a satanic interpretation or grouping of satanic interpretations, and there's a righteous interpretation. So obviously you have to look for their fruit, right? I'm righteous. My videos make it clear that I'm righteous. I do not control who sees my videos or how many views they get, and they inspire people to use their heads and to be morally precise. Where the churches, they're trying to put people in a trance-like state. They don't even agree with each other. They create all kinds of division. They all just serve the government, and they propound the government propaganda because they're more concerned with finding their life in this world and the continuity of their churches than doing God's work. So the plan in the Bible, according to Paul, is for everyone to rally to me and to be gathered in the cloud of the presence of God, to be screened out with me. There's no other way to interpret it. Being caught up together in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. Okay? People aren't going to grow wings magically. Their flesh dies. They're screened out. And we go to the essence of what God intended for mankind in the afterlife. The new heaven and the new earth. There's no other way to look at it. Isaiah 34 verse 2. The Lord is angry with all nations. With who? With what? With all nations. His wrath is on all their armies. He will totally destroy them. He will give them over to slaughter. Their slain will be thrown out. Their dead bodies will stink. The mountains will be soaked with their blood. Now, why is it saying the mountains will be soaked with their blood? Not the ground. Why is it saying the mountains? Because again, the mountains stand for the place they went, the places they went to worship their deities. It stands for their kings, their deities / their gods, what they commit to. So instead of, Mount Horeb and Mount Zion, they go to various mountains where they worship satanic deities. So the mountains are also connected to the heads of the beast and the beast itself, as they stand for the kings, their worship process, the spirit that they worship in, what have you. So it's talking about a spiritual event, not their physical bodies being killed per se. To whatever degree they are, It's talking about they're spiritually thrown out of the process of being allowed to go to heaven. And the mountains are soaked with their life essence. And they become the walking dead. There's no way to interpret this because, again, it says that the mountains will be soaked with their blood. Can you imagine all the people on the planet being killed and just the mountains are soaked with the blood? So it must be figurative. It must be referring to a spiritual process. Galatians 6:7. Do not be deceived. God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows. So can the inhabitants of the earth persecute me and do all these horrible things and control breeding in a satanic way and so on and so forth? Just act like complete arrogant demons. Have 7 abominations fill their heart, right? Sin in various forms, right? Gluttony and evil wrath. Okay, pride, lust, greed, and so on and so forth. And they just do whatever they want and say, hey, they have faith and ride off into the sunset? No. So let me give you 4 more reasons and we'll wrap this up here. 1, regardless of how I feel about it, the inhabitants of the earth, which is everyone who doesn't obey God through me, except for my parents, have worked together wittingly or otherwise to make a planet that only very evil people would reproduce on. So I won't have offspring. Point number 2, they even persecuted me and kept me from having a beautiful wife with her tubes tied, because again, I'm not going to have offspring no matter what. Point number 3, they ignored my orders to mitigate, right? Reduce their eternal punishment by at least compensating me and working around me. I'm very bad health. I'll be 45 soon. Okay? It's better late than never, but that comes with consequences either way. Point number 4, they try to mock God more by acting like I should work like a slave to help them and their offspring be more comfortable, and they want me to lie, etc. So after they do all these horrible things, and they're controlling reproduction, controlling who has a kid and who doesn't, only scum who, support white, Jewish, and LGBT supremacy, token minority supremacy, only selfish scum in their various forms reproduce. They act like smug, spoiled brats, just very vile, spoiled brats. And they're at least going through the motions of expecting me to work like a slave, to work like a dog, to quote unquote bless their satanic offspring and the offspring of the people who are dumb enough to reproduce, which by default will be satanic. Think about that. Do you think that the righteous king who delivers the divine verdict should go along with it? Proverbs 16:12, right? Kings detest wrongdoing, for a throne is established in righteousness. New Living Translation, justice. Proverbs 16:10. A divine verdict comes from a king, is on the mouth of the king, is on the lips of a king. His mouth should not err in judgment. He should not err in judgment. They even made it harder for me to say this video. So again, as they're doing the things that they're doing, acting like homosexuals, playing a role-playing game, and gay-ish European elitists, Jewish elitists, who point to the more gay elitists, the more gay-looking people in society, and act like they're doing the right thing. Why they're doing these detestable things, these very evil things. You think I should turn around and help them? No. So as it stands, one can make a strong case at least that it's a good thing that these nations are at each other's throat. I'm going to put God first. I'm not going to be some kind of communist idiot, some kind of Republican idiot, some kind of leftist or right-wing or centrist idiot, and put helping these evil, vile snakes before what's right. That's never going to happen. Curses on you people for even allowing me to think that's what's going on, much less that being what's going on. Curses on you people and your offspring to the extreme. I'll see you before God Almighty, and I bet you won't be so smug